without going to the nuts and bolts too much, I wondered what your perception of what Liz Kendall said yesterday and how you think it will land with voters in Scotland. John, I'll come to you first. What did you make of what Kendall said, and do you think is there sympathy? Do you think amongst voters that the welfare bill is too high, that people are like we can't sustain the number of people on benefits? Do you think there's support for that?
So I think yes, there is support for that, primarily among people who don't claim benefits. It's an interesting one. If you look at the figures in this, it's very difficult to avoid the conclusion that this is a real problem that needs to be tackled in some way. I mean, it's actually quite. It's when you see how much of the total amount of public spending in the UK that's going towards these sort of benefits is astronomical, and the projections are for it to go up and up and up over the next few years. So something probably does need to be done, and it does. You get the feeling that Labour are wanting to tackle this from a position of genuinely believing that it's a problem that needs to be dealt with. Now, that's one thing, but it does just feel like electoral suicide for the Labour Party to be the one to do this. It was when it was George Osborne and David Cameron cutting benefits. That was their core vote. Don't claim benefits in the first place. A lot of Labour voters do, and a lot of Labour voters are broadly supportive of a larger welfare state and the state, coming in to help people who are disabled. So it does feel like it's a very hard sell for Labour. You heard Liz Kendall there talking about young people who are trapped in a sort of a benefits trap and needing out of that trap. I doubt you will find many people who are getting their benefits who are cut to will be saying, thanks, Liz, thanks for freeing me from this benefits trap. That's just not how people are going to feel about it. People are going to feel very upset. One thing I think this is really interesting will be how we, the media, respond to it. I can remember in the past when it was the Tories that were cutting benefits, cutting disability benefits. The Daily Record, for example, ran a huge campaign around criticising the sort of the ATOS tests and all of that sort of stuff, and I think it made a real difference. It's going to be very interesting this time around to see whether, I mean, the right-wing media will. It's difficult to see how they're going to have a problem with any government cutting benefits, cutting the welfare bill. It's going to be interesting to see how the left-leaning media respond to a Labour government cutting benefits, whether they broadly accept that this is something that needs to happen and they allow them to get on with it, or whether you see a lot of negative coverage of what they're trying to do.